Hey everybody, Fire Soldier here. I wanted to make a little video about my homemade compost tumblers. I got two of them going here. I got the design off the internet and then I kind of improved on it a little bit, made my own little improvements on it. It consists of a 30-gallon trash can. You want a nice heavy-duty trash can. This happens to be a Rubbermaid, it's heavy-duty. The frame made out of 2x6. Each one's cut to 30 inches. This is a 30-gallon can. Each one of these are cut to 30 inches, and that gives you the right height and stability. They're screwed and glued and screwed together. I use a 3/4 inch piece of galvanized pipe as my axle. You can see how it's set up here. And then inside I use this little piece of PVC pipe acts as a bushing, keeps it centered inside the frame. And then this floor flange, galvanized floor flange, it's a 1-inch floor flange, that acts as like kind of the axle bearing. Got one on each side, same setup on each side. Got a bungee cord on top that holds the lid on. After a while it gets pretty heavy. The operation of it, you know, is you just tumble it. You want to tumble it maybe once a day or a couple times a day, all according to what's going on in there. Tumble it around. A couple other features to show you is the vent holes here on the side. You want to get plenty of ventilation in there. This is one of the ways. You got a top vent hole, and I have screening in there. You don't want to get bugs in there. If you're using table scraps and stuff, it can get a little bit buggy, and you don't want to get bugs in there. So to avoid that, I put those screens on there. And then the rest of the ventilation is through this piece of 3-inch PVC that runs up through the center of the can. It's got vent holes drilled in the side of it. Again, I got a screen down here, keep the bugs out. This can all come apart so you can clean it if you have to. I use a 3-inch toilet flange and then a piece of 3-inch PVC. And I'll show you the setup on that on the inside here in a second. This was my second one. I made one last year, I guess. This is my first one, and you can see there's a pretty big difference. I didn't really have a good idea. I knew once I started doing this that this drum probably would not support the weight of the axle once it got heavy. So I made these little, I guess, bushings you could call them, or bearings, for the axle to ride on, a piece of plastic that I had. And then, like I said, this, my second one, I improved on it better. It works much nicer. It's going to hold up a lot longer. And this one works good, but I just wanted to improve it a little bit. You can also see down here, this one tends to be a little bit wetter. I put more of my table scraps and stuff in there right now, and a lot of green stuff, not too much brown. And I've been getting some compost tea out of it, and I got a little hole in the bottom that bleeds, it drips out, you know, slowly. And then I mix my compost tea to 50-to-1, you know, half water, half compost tea, and I'll use it to fertilize my plants in my garden. You can see the toilet bowl over here. That's kind of a funny story. We had an old toilet bowl, and I thought instead of just throwing it away, we could try to make something useful out of it. I made a planter out of it, and we had strawberries in there last year. They did all right, but what the problem was the soil dried out too quick, and couldn't keep it moist enough. So it didn't really work out like we hoped to, and now it's just sitting there. I got to drag it out to the street, get it out so the garbage man can get it one of these days. I want to salvage the soil out of there. It's still got some good soil, and when I get around to it, I'll move it. But anyway, I wanted to show you my tumblers. Let me show you the inside real quick. I didn't show you that, how that ventilation pipe works. Ooh, you can see inside. This is more of a drier one right now. I got mostly dry brown stuff in here. But the ventilation pipe has a 3-inch cap. It can come off, and you can run a garden hose down through there and clean it out. It's got 1/2-inch holes drilled all the way around, all the way down, and that gives you a nice circulation of air, keeps your air going in there. If you didn't have enough circulation in air, your compost wouldn't compost fast enough, you know, so you want that circulation. Make sure your lid's on tight, because you'll end up spilling all your compost. This happened a couple times. Put the bungee back on. There you go. Give it a couple spins. Oh, get my lid on tight. There we go. Give it a couple spins. Let it sit for a while. You can see some of the stuff I put in the compost. That's horse manure. A buddy of mine owns some horses, and he's kind enough to bring me a few buckets of horse manure every so often, and that makes a nice addition to your compost. Okay, well, that's it. That's my homemade compost tumbler. Y'all have a good day.